Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channel, and we continue our World Class Championship Wrestling review series. On this particular occasion, we are into the month of August on the 21st of August. Really notable show here, as this is part of the Star Wars event. We open with a King Kong Bundy promo. Bundy to be facing Harley Race, of course, former multi-time, six-time at this point, world heavyweight champion. And Arman Hussein is really pumping Bundy. Bundy looks like $1 million here. I think they're in some sort of locker room type setting. But anyway, this is probably the biggest match for Bundy to date, and it's treated with respect. It's treated very well. Harley Race also is interviewed here. He talks a lot about the nature of having battled guys like Andre. He was the first, or one of the first, to slam Andre. He talks about not being intimidated by Bundy. He's fought bigger, better, and he is on his road back to the NWA Championship. Race is just phenomenal here. If you have not seen this match, go out of your way to see it. As a matter of fact, this whole show, because it's kind of the big arena show, it's definitely worth checking out. Of course, next week is the match with Kerry Von Erich and Ric Flair for the Heavyweight Championship. I think that's the only match on the show, so it'll be a relatively short review. I'm not going to go blow by blow with it, but suffice to say, the Bundy and Race thing is so much better than it has any right to be, and that's so much due to Harley Race. Harley Race is obviously phenomenal. Duh, he would have had to have been to be a multi-time NWA champion in the 70s and 80s. But Hussein is out there. He's pumping Bundy up even into the live crowd, and the match starts kind of slow. Obviously, Bundy using his leverage, weight, and power, and Harley is not terribly intimidated or impressed by this. You see Harley coming back quite easily and succinctly with offensive maneuvers time and again. Oddly enough, you see Bundy doing some mat wrestling, including but not limited to arm locks, arm holds, arm scissors, and the like. Race is not intimidated, though, and gets Bundy down on the mat, actually slamming him at a point, and that is just amazing. Think about the size of Harley Race. Harley probably, 250-ish pounds, maybe 270 at the most, but to slam a guy who is double his weight, even with help, pretty amazing. Harley takes Bundy to the corner and is chopping the heck out of him, punching the heck out of him, really taking it to him. And the fans are extremely surprised. Obviously, Race, because of the history and because of Bundy's association with Hart and others, Race is the preferred babyface here. Again, they slow the match down. Obviously, Bundy using, again, his weight on a consistent basis. But Harley never takes a backward step. Hits the falling headbutt at a point. And it looks brutal. Not that it was, but suffice to say, Harley does everything he possibly can to really make Bundy look like $1 million here. At the same time, not losing any heat. And I think, to a degree, guys today and women today could learn a lot from this, in that they pick the pace of the match up quite a bit. They go all over with it, meaning, up, down. Harley Race even hits a drop kick, doing things that you wouldn't expect a guy his size to do, or his age to do on a guy Bundy's size. And it's just, what's amazing to me is they had the crowd the whole time. Obviously, that's to be expected. But Bundy walks away with his the tag team belt that he already had. And Bundy, of course, does get the I believe they go to double count out here. I'm trying to remember because I've seen Harley and Bundy a couple of times before in other promotions, and I'm getting the matches mixed up. But what's interesting is the referee really, losing control of the match. They're going at it on the ropes, and Race hits the ring post, knocking himself for a loop. Bundy gets back in and actually wins by countout. There we go. For some reason, I thought it was different. Anyway, so Arman Hussein comes in, starts beating on Harley Race, and Bundy's really made in the matchup. Then we move on to Magic Dragon and Great Kabuki versus the Von Erichs. Of course, this is for the All Asian Tag Team Championships. David is back. I believe it's David and Kevin that are challenging for these, as we have a whole package about Kerry's sojourn for the World Championship, which again, match will be there next week for everyone to enjoy. But Kabuki and Dragon are the adversaries for the day. The Von Erichs are, a phenomenal team. Obviously, David, a lot of people think probably could have been the world champion. That's been debated a bit. Obviously, David passes early. They're given, close to 15 minutes here, back and forth, and there's a lot of just use of the claw with the Von Erichs, obviously. Use of martial arts with the heels, and so much back and forth. Heels take the majority of the offense, and there's even a point, almost as a mock spot, where Magic Dragon uses a bit of the claw on David Von Erich himself, and that just struck me as odd, almost in a mocking situation, but David takes the majority of punishment. Of course, David coming back to the area, hot tag to Kevin. Kevin goes nuts on everybody, and then we move through the match a little bit further. Kabuki and Magic Dragon again. What I like is they use so many strikes, but each one is measured. We don't see that today. We see boom, 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 and there's no deliberation. There's no pullback. There's really just no consistency to it. We see Magic Dragon hit the backflip that he's known for, and David comes back quite a bit with Kabuki. The match itself continues to break down. Like I said, they almost go 15 minutes. And it's interesting because they have the crowd the whole time, but there's so many changes in the tempo and pacing of the match that you are shocked when you finally get your victory. And of course, your victory is the Von Erichs recapturing the All Asian Tag Team Championships. I don't know why an American company has All Asian Championships, although that was never explained to me as a 1982 viewer, but it happened. And so we then go to the interview with the new champions. Their really basic interview, we're excited to be champions, blah, blah, blah. Then we give Ric Flair an interview. He talks about not being worried about Kerry Von Erich. He talks about being the world champion, and he's going to be the world champion for weeks and months and years to come, and not being revved up by Kerry. Kerry gets a music video. They switch between him doing wrestling maneuvers and riding horses. I don't quite get that, but then again, this is Texas. It's basically a hype video. We see Kerry working out a little bit. But for 1982, the idea is we can expect that Kerry is in the best shape of his life going into the championship match, which will air next week. But until then, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Till next time, everybody.